Happy Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of The Money Cure. I'm your host, Sean Grant, and I've got a special show planned for you today. I'm super excited about this topic because this allows you to take a practical approach to your finances as it relates to your beliefs, as it relates to your habits, as it relates to your earning income potential. Okay, and so let's get right into it. So when you look at the title, you see your financial success is the heavyweight fight of your life. And that's putting a lot on it, but it's so true because let's think about this. If we are lacking financially, and most of us have been in situations where we have, it is truly, truly tough to live. It is truly tough to exist. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to be Warren Buffett, but life is about experiences. Life is about being able to take the opportunity to take advantage of stuff when you get the chance to, and not having to say no because you don't have the financial means. And that's what we want to fight against. That's what we want to overturn, if you would. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, so many of us, it would be safe to say like 90% of the people out there have had a whack, and I'm going to call it that because that's exactly what it is, a whack financial upbringing or money beliefs passed on to them that basically just sabotages any of their efforts. And instead of them being able to figure out how to right the ship, they get stuck because they fight harder. And here's the truth of the matter. You can't fight your subconscious mind. You can't fight what your behavior patterns are on a subconscious level. The only way you can fix those is if you get rid of those beliefs and you overturn, whatever it is that's programmed inside of you. So one of my favorite things to do, and what I've enjoyed doing for a very long time, is using affirmations, but using them in a sense of having so much motivation behind them, so much feeling and emotion behind them. See, the thing is with an affirmation, they don't work if you're just basically saying out words. Now, that's not to say sometimes with repetition, you say something enough, you believe it. But just think about if you put tons of emotion on top of those words that you're saying and what kind of effect it would have on you. And I'm telling you this because I've been in this same battle, like battling all these limiting beliefs and not knowing where they're coming from, not knowing why I'm excelling in every single area except my finances, and I'm scratching my head like this makes no sense. I am like, a beast in every area of my life, but then financially I'm having trouble. It just doesn't make sense. And then you finally get to those limiting practices and those things that kind of go off, those behavioral characteristics that kind of go off whenever it comes down to money. And then you think, okay, you've been running my life for long enough. It's time to fight. And that's where the heavyweight fight comes up. And that's what I want you to envision. This is what I want you to really jump on the idea of and enter it like a heavyweight fight. I was coaching somebody the other day, and we were just having this talk about spirituality and finances and stuff, and I made the comment, and this is how this podcast kind of came up. I'm like, you've got to be ready to battle those beliefs, the right way, not by working harder, but by reprogramming. It's kind of like if you have a full glass of dirty water and you want that water to be clean, but you can't just take the water and empty it out. What you want to do is take the clean water and continue to pour clean water in until it flushes all the dirty water out, and before you know it, you have a full, clean glass of water. And then that clean glass of water represents your beliefs, represents your ideas about how money should be, and then tap into your birthright of having abundance and knowing that it will never be lacking in your life. That's where you want to get. So in order to do that, you got to come at this thing like in the description, like I said, like Tyson. And what that means is every negative, pessimistic thought as it relates to money, you've got to transform it. You got to turn it around. And you got to reprogram that to be positive, and you got to say it to the point to where you feel it. Because if you can feel what you're saying, it's going to resonate deeper on your subconscious, and it's going to change your beliefs, because you're making sure that whatever is tripping you up and sabotaging you is being kind of knocked out of the way. And so how do we do that? Affirmations is one of the great things, So what I find is whenever I start to think negative thoughts, it's because I'm fearful of something. And the only way to combat fear is to express faith. And as soon as you feel fear, you go right after it with faith, and you go after it with faith and conviction, because fear is just an illusion. Fear is just something that is there to make you think something that may never happen is going to happen. Okay, it's just that simple. So when you refuse to buy into it, when you refuse to let it run your life, you're practicing faith from that perspective. And this is what counts. This is what you need to do. You need to express if you're going to change your life on a level to where you won't cap out at a certain amount of money being made into your life. You won't all of a sudden start breaking down once you reach, $3,000 a month, but you're doing enough work to make like $50,000 a month. So all that stuff has to realign. And so my objective here is, one, to get you in a place to where you don't fear and worry ultimately, but to also get you in a place to where you say, you know what? I'm done with this. I'm about to take charge of my life in this regard. I'm about to take charge of my beliefs. Yeah, I had a terrible upbringing. Yeah, I grew up around poverty. Yeah, everybody I knew had a poverty consciousness, but that won't be me. I'm about to raise myself higher to a higher standard and move from that point on and just confirm what I know to be true, confirm what the universe tells me, that I am abundant, I am extremely abundant, that I am extremely loved, that I'm extremely confident, and I'm extremely wealthy. Wealth is there for me for the taking if I can express myself through my sole purpose and trust that everything I need is being provided. And so you hear me talking like this. All of that comes when you make it a point to just basically turn those beliefs around. And it's possible. It may take some time depending on where you are. But it is definitely worth it, and it is definitely something to work on every single opportunity that you get. And the beauty of it is, I used to have this timer. This is like when one of the first iPhones came out, and I just wanted to be better financially. I truly felt like my ability was not matching up to my earning potential. And so I decided that I was going to do something about it. So literally every 30 minutes, I had an affirmation that would pop up on my phone. And I would take at least 2 to 5 minutes every time that affirmation made itself available. And I would say that affirmation until I truly felt it. I would say that affirmation until I truly felt it. And would you know, after practicing that, after doing that, this is one of my proudest moments when I was working on a film set. And somehow or another, I think between overtime and SAG after our union rules, I made more money in one day. Actually, let's put it this way. I could pay my rent twice after one day of work. And when I say one day, it was about 17, 18 hours in just one day. And I thought to myself, wow, this works. What if I could keep myself here, from a spiritual perspective, from a mental standpoint? What if I could keep myself here all the time? What if I could just tap into that, or better yet, just have it to be second nature? And so that is what brought the energy and the vibration behind not only helping myself with it, but doing a podcast like this to help other people to feel the exact same way and to help them to climb higher in their lives, because you deserve better than being broke. You deserve better than being poor. But no, you deserve better than having a poverty consciousness to where you have to worry and fear and be stressed out about how you're going to make money. You should be able to do stuff that you love and make tons of money while doing it. That is how life was designed. If you're not on that path, then something has to give. Something has to open up. The ship has to right itself, and it all begins with you taking responsibility as to how and what you're going to do. And I'm telling you, this is the perfect place to and that is to just start to combat it with those affirmations. Another great thing you can do is if you go to Google and you type in limiting beliefs quiz, okay? Limiting beliefs quiz. Doesn't matter. There's no particular special one. And I've done this. I do this ever so often to see if I'm developing any beliefs that might hinder me. And a lot of these quizzes are like between 10 and 25, 30 questions. Nothing too crazy, nice and easy, and it'll give you a score. And you can take it multiple times, because I have beforehand taken it multiple times to be able to help me to just basically figure out if I'm still on the right track, or to figure out if I'm developing limiting beliefs, okay? And sure enough, a lot of these tests are so accurate. I mean, so beyond accurate. It is just truly amazing to think, right, that something could tell you what is holding you back. And then once you find out, bam, you just work right at that. You target. Like I said, just like a heavyweight fighter, you get that jab ready, you get that cross ready, that uppercut ready to go after that limiting belief and just basically knock it out and start from anew and start a new pattern, because you want to be in a place to where you can not only right the ship, but then you pass down a new financial pattern to your ancestors, or in this case to your kids, to your grandkids and great-grandkids, depending on where you are. You always want to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to make sure that everybody is set up to succeed, because that's what it comes down to, and there's no better time than now to be able to make that happen. Guys, that is a wrap today. Thank you so much for joining me on this awesome podcast, The Money Cure. Stay tuned. I've got a book that I'm writing about this stuff, and it's pretty neat. I'm not going to release the title yet, but I'll give you a heads up when it's available. But yeah, stay tuned for it. Got a lot of great stuff that I want to share. And feel free to comment. Feel free to contact me. Anything you would like me to talk about, anything you would like me to share, feel free to do so. Can't say that enough. Always a pleasure. Have a wonderful day. And remember, your financial success is up to you, nobody else. Take it into your hands. Take responsibility for it. Connect to your higher power. Be guided by your intuition to excel in ways that you could only imagine. Guys, have a wonderful day. Take care.